Today in the kitchen, we're going to do a little bit of decorating, and we're taking things over from fall to winter, and we're going to take a look at the top of the refrigerator. So stay tuned. Good morning. This is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, where we work hard. We love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. Today, we're going to have another fun day in the kitchen, and we are going to do some creating. We're going to work on the refrigerator decor and make sure that the refrigerator looks fantastic. We're also going to work on the little window that's right behind my head. And we're going to do a little touching up to that as well. So if you like decor in the kitchen, because you know here we do things in the kitchen for the kitchen, then stay right there.
My plan for today is to attack the refrigerator decor, and that's up there at the top. You know, I always decorate the top of the refrigerator. And the reason for that is because people are in and out and in and out of there throughout the day, as well as when you walk in from our garage coming into the house from that direction, the first real decor that you see is the top of the refrigerator. So that's why it gets decorated. So we're going to take care of that today. I'm also going to show you what I did to my window that sits over my sink. You know, it's not that large, and it really doesn't have a lot of space for decorating. And you'll see why. You can see where the water connection is, the faucet, and you can see that the lip of the window is pretty small. So I've just done a few touches, and we're going to kick that up a notch today. I've taken the basket down from the refrigerator, as you can see, and I'm letting you see what it looks like, or at least what it has looked like during the fall. Now, you know, I keep that greenery in the bottom of this basket just because it's a great background and a great way to attach whatever features I might opt to put in the basket. So I'm just straightening things out from where I actually deconstructed the basket, and I'm going to lay it on the side most of the time. Now what I'd like to do is to take some of that garland that we've been using. I've got some pieces falling off because I just keep cutting it, but I'm going to take some of that and I'm going to lay it into this basket just like we did over in the centerpiece. And I'm going to bring a little snow to this basket. Now this basket has been a part of the refrigerator decor for actually over a year at this point. And I spray painted it. It was brown. It was one of those finds that I got at the Goodwill. And so it has certainly served me well. So I'm just fluffing out that piece of garland that I have left over. And you know, when you have little pieces like this, find a way to use them. There's always somewhere that you can put them in. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to lay it in, and I'm going to do the exact same technique of where I'm going to attach it to the bristles, the green evergreen bristles. I'm going to work them into the snowy bristles. So we're going to bring where the snow meets the evergreen, and I'm going to do that all over this basket. And then once we get that done, then we're going to be ready to start adding some of the bling and the other items that may go into this project. Now, I found some beautiful ribbon and that I added to that white snowflake ribbon that we were using earlier in our projects. And
fortunately, the white snowflake ribbon that I was using that I got from Costco actually has about 25 yards on the roll. So because of that, that's going to give me a lot to work with, and which is great because I can finish out the kitchen and still probably have some ribbon left over. So there we go. We've got it all intermingled. And, I like to have a few wild pieces. Now, you'll see I was about to put those into the trash can, but thought better because I'm probably going to use them later on. So, anyway, I have some little pieces. I can't remember the name of this little bunch, but it's something that I got last Christmas at Walmart. And it's kind of sparkly, and it was in with the Christmas thing. So I'm just going to work that in. And then I have one more, so I'm going to put that in over there. Now I have to say, some of the flowers, that you get from Walmart are great and they last very well. But, I think because of the pandemic, Walmart doesn't seem to have as many different types of flowers, artificial flowers, as they did last Christmas. And, that's certainly understandable. So I'm not the least bit upset. I'm going to work with what I have. Now, here's the bow that I put together, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to put a zip tie on the back of it because I wasn't thinking when I put this together to leave two long pieces of ribbon so I could tie it on. And besides, up there on the refrigerator, nobody would have seen that nice bow anyway. So I am going to just put this right underneath of where I actually attach the bow together. And I am going to zip this onto the handle of the basket. And that way I can move the bow to wherever it needs to be best seen. So I'm just kind of playing around with it. I'm going to get it fastened on, and then I can move it up or down or around or whatever I need to do once I get all the other pieces put in. Now, the advantage to the basket is that, number one, it's going to lay on its side. Number two, you don't have to worry about trying to get as much balance all the way around the basket because all of the basket is not going to be seen. But most of the basket is going to be seen, about 3 sides of it. So that's why I have it turned on the side so we can work with the 3 sides that are going to be visible. Now, you will see that I'm going to prop this on a glass container. And the reason I do that is because when it's up on the refrigerator, it's propped on a glass container. And so I'm going through my basket. I had a closed basket full of stuff that I thought I might want to put inside of this basket. Now, I can tell you now, some things worked and some things didn't. I had ornaments that I was going to try to work into this particular arrangement. And, after I got started with it, I just don't think the ornaments would be visible enough to even warrant putting them in there. So I just didn't even get into that. Now, I've got company in the kitchen, and that's another reason why I'm voiceovering this part, because the big guy was on the move and he had things that were going on. So he's working, I'm working, and we're just working cooperatively here in the house and chit-chatting because that's what you do when everybody's at home. So I'm taking out those things that I think I might be able to use. Now remember, I told you earlier that we were going to work on the wreath that you can see right there in the background that's over the sink. And we're going to add a few little sparklies to it to get it started. And you're going to see the closer I come to finishing this kitchen, that that little wreath is really going to get kicked up a notch. And we're going to pretty it up today. We're going to add some sparkle to it today. But I will be putting some more things on it and in it as time goes by. And I'm playing with a few more ornaments that I found because I still have several other projects yet to do here in the kitchen. Now, we've got the bow on. You can see the greenery on. I've got some little bits of greenery frosted and all kinds of things that were in the bag. And I'm just trying to decide what would be the best thing to put in this basket to make it sing. And that's what you want. You want your basket to just sing to you and say, woohoo, here I am. And so I am adding things to it. Now I want you to look closely at the front, and you're going to see a little glass rectangle there. And that's because the basket is leaning on that rectangular dish. And it's clear purposely because when I put that basket up on top of the refrigerator, it is sitting right now the way it's going to sit on top of the refrigerator. And so you're looking at the angle that you're going to see when it's up on the refrigerator. So that's why I want to be able to, as I'm working on it, I want to know those things that where I need to put them so that they will be the most visible. Because obviously you can see that there's certain spots that once you get it on top of that refrigerator, unless you're standing on something, you're just not going to see it. So that's the reason why I'm keeping it angled so that I can really look at where the prime property is. And this is one of those things that it's so relaxing to work on a project, like this, because you can just work and, you forget about all of the cares and the problems and everything else that's going on around you. And it also allows you to find happiness in some of the things that you do. And hopefully some of that happiness is going to be very visible and very obvious to those people who are coming in and out. And we certainly need as much joy as we possibly can in these days because things are very different. People are thinking very differently. And so I am just trying to stay in my happy place, keep my heart and my mind where it's supposed to be, and I hope you're trying and working toward doing the same. Now, we're looking at the top, and I've added a little bit of bling with 3 little baby ornaments and a little greenery to the center of that bow, because that's going to be very obvious once it's up on the refrigerator. So I'm just fastening it in, and there are so many little bristles, and of course you got the actual handle of the basket itself, that it's very easy to put items into the basket. So we're working hard and we're getting the job done.
Well, I've moved my bench over and we are just going to take the moment and we're going to get the basket in place. So I have the basket in place. I have a little Christmas tree that I took the little pieces that fell off of the garland and I put them into the basket. And so I'm just kind of shifting things around until I get it exactly the way I want it. What my dilemma is how far back the basket should be. Now I'm still thinking that I have some snowmen that I typically put on top of the refrigerator, but it's maybe a little early for the snowmen, and I'm almost positive I have another tree. So I'm putting that little rectangular dish under the basket, and you can see it lifts it up and allows you to see more of the basket. I purposely put the camera at the angle that you would be if you were standing in the kitchen, of course, on the floor, and the angle you would see. So here we are, pretty much finished. And look who decided to fly in. I had to add that my third cat cardinal to the room. Now, I moved him from where he was, and he's been moved over. I actually played around with where the tree is. So I think I'm going to be very, very happy with what I see.
I hope you have had as much fun here in the kitchen as I have. You know, it's always fun switching from one season to another and putting things in places that you're going to have to look at all the time, every day. Everybody who walks into this house sees the top of the refrigerator, and certainly because we're having to wash our hands so much at this point, they see what the window that is right over my sink. So we're going to put some touches there so that when they look at that, hopefully it will bring great joy. I hope you have had a wonderful time in the kitchen, and I hope that you'll come back again so that we can do more decorating and more cooking and more chatting together. So I'm glad for those of you who are a part of the family, who are my tried and true and stay all the time, and I am so happy to have those of you who are new, and I'm hoping that you'll stay around and come back again to this kitchen. So, without further ado, God bless you and have an absolutely wonderful day.